Hi guys, it's Steve with the Thomas Real Estate Group. And with everything going on with COVID and with some of the civil unrest, a lot of our clients have been asking us how it's affecting our market. So we thought we'd put a video together and try and work through the actual statistics of this year versus the prior years and kind of give everybody an idea of what we feel is happening in the market. I don't want to bore you guys to death with a bunch of numbers and statistics, but I do want to give you guys an idea of how we feel the market is going. The reality is COVID really did affect late March and early April for good reason. I think a lot of people were concerned. I think a lot of people were scared, and things really did shut down. But if you look at the year in general and you look at it as a cross section of 5 months as opposed to just that 6 weeks, there's some really interesting data. So in order to make this make sense, I'm just going to go through some general statistics for the past 3 years. That's 17, 18, and 19. And then what we're going to do is we're going to compare what's happened so far in 20 in order for you guys to kind of draw some conclusions. So 2017, 2018, 2019, the average number of sales in Villa Park across those months was about 72. And there's some spikes there. So 17 was 82, and then 18 dropped to 4.9, and then 19 back to 76. So, but in general average 72. And then the other thing that people look at often is price per square foot, and then average or median price. If you don't know the difference between average and median, it's not that important. For the general purpose, you can just I'll give you a couple of numbers, and it will give you a general idea. So first off, to date, there's been 26 total sales through May. That's 5.2, which is off. As you can see, you're probably looking at around 6.2 for the prior 3 years. So there is a drop in volume. However, the really interesting data is the actual average and median sales price across 2020 in relation to 17, 18, and 19. Villa Park historically has been a very stable market. Your average price per square foot, your average sales, they're pretty stable. You don't have these dramatic fluctuations. To give you an idea, if we're looking at average as opposed to median, average sales price in 2017 was $1,382,000. 18 $1,394,000, 19 $1,371,000. You have a really, really tight average sales price in Villa Park, right? Median, a little bit different. You got $1,312,000. You have $1,340,000 in 18, and then in 19 you have $1,263,000. So it technically shows a little bit of a drop when you're looking at median in 2019. However, in our industry, 2019 was a very strong year. The point I'm trying to make is you really do have a very tight window of average and median home prices across those years. Now, what's really interesting is the data to date on the sales in 2020 through the COVID virus. While the volume is down, we've seen a dramatic increase in both the average and the median sales price. We're at $1,599,000 for average, and we're at $1,527,000 for median. I mean, those are dramatic jumps for Villa Park. Villa Park is traditionally, that mid-1,300,000 price point, and it has been like that through a very hot market, 17, 18, 19. Now, all of a sudden, in the 5 months where things should really be tough and tight, you're seeing a lot of the higher end move. To date, there's been 8 homes in Villa Park that have closed over $2 million. That's normally about as many $2 million plus sales as we'll see over an entire year. So the high end is moving. People that have nicer assets, they're moving. And people that are willing to put their homes on the market today are actually seeing a pretty good result. I think all of us are waiting to see what will happen, as things continue to play out. Most people know that there's a lot of mortgage forbearance going on. There's a lot of people that aren't paying their mortgages, and we won't know how that will affect the market until those actually come due. But for now, the average closed sale at $1,599,000 and the median at $1,527,000 is a substantial increase than the past 3 years that were technically supposed to be really, really good years for Villa Park. Here's what's really interesting. During COVID, March 19th was the actual lockdown date. there was almost nothing. But in the last 14 days in Villa Park, there's been 7 homes go to escrow. The average sales price on those 7 homes is $1,920,000. The median is $1,780,000, and those are substantial increases from even the first I call it 3.5 months of the year. So take the data for what it is. I won't bore you to death with all of the statistics, but there is a dramatic increase in the actual sales price. You don't typically see that same trend in the average price per square foot, but I think that's because we're seeing more higher end homes come to market and a stronger high end in Villa Park. And being boots on the ground, Villa Park, the lower end, has really risen. It is very, very difficult to get into Villa Park in a home that's 3-car garage, 5 bedrooms, half-acre lot for anything less than $1.5 million. Just 12 months ago, $1.5 million would have bought you a really, really nice home with those statistics. Right now, there's nothing on the market. In fact, there's almost nothing on the market under $1.3 million on the half-acre lots. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is, with all of the bad news and with all of the uncertainty in the market, the data itself doesn't support a doom and gloom perspective, at least in the short term. I think what it does show is that people that are getting on with their lives and trying to do the best they can with what they have in a really difficult time are seeing good results. And it's not a time for anybody to let fear and panic stop them from doing what they feel is best for their family or themselves. I think that it's important that everybody continues to watch the news for financial data, whether or not the interest rates are actually starting to affect the jumbo mortgages, how banks are jumping back into the market and how that's going to affect mortgages moving forward, how the secondary markets for mortgages are reacting. But in general, in the short term, from January to the end of May, we've had a very strong year from a sales price perspective. So tons more data for you guys. If you guys have any questions, you guys know where to find us. Please give us a call at the office, 714-998-8300. If you guys have any discrepancies with the data, we're happy to discuss it. But hopefully this gives you guys a positive outlook in kind of an uncertain time. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.